Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. Today, it's another podcast and we have a special guest again. Welcome, Filip, first of all, to the podcast.
Hello.
He reached out to us and we were really glad when he messaged us that he wants to talk about this topic. As you've probably seen by the thumbnail and title, I think why we are going to enjoy talking about this is because Devin, me, and Filip, all of us are kind of related to it. Filip, would you like to introduce yourself and talk about why you exactly reached out to us?
Of course. My name is Filip, as Chirag mentioned. I'm 17 and I'm a keen on sports. I was a water polo player. Now I train boxing, and all of us share the love for sports.
Yeah.
So we are all here to talk about the mental issues and how the sport helps us to maintain the peace in ourselves and how to cope with the struggles that lockdown brings, etc.
Fair enough. So let me just dig right deep into it. Let's talk about mental health and how it has changed throughout the last 6-8 months, because obviously all of us have been in lockdown online. Filip and I think Devin, we haven't seen each other for the last 6 months or so. This is kind of the first kind of meeting we're having one-on-one, but it's crazy and we never really emphasize on mental health and all that. So if you're comfortable, of course, run me through how has your mental health been through the last couple of months.
So I may start. So the reason is that I brought up this topic today. I had an accident at the end of the last year. I had an accident when I got actually hit by my colleague from my water polo team for nothing. This guy actually had some mental problems. He had some mental issues because he wasn't able to train for a long time. He came to the team, he started training, and then he showed the aggression towards everyone. And unfortunately, he just hit me with his knee, and I was in the hospital, and I was like sick and for 2 or 3 months. And then I realized how much of a pressure COVID puts on everyone. And I was just thinking, how should we cope with this? And I came to the conclusion that sport is the best idea. We'll talk about it later. But now I'm fine. It's okay. Now it's almost like summertime, so we all feel better. We have like this relief in our hearts that we'll stop learning for some time. So yeah.
Devin, do you wanna talk about your life?
Obviously, I didn't have any horrible instances like Filip did, but my mental health is just such a sensitive topic, and it's different for everyone how they cope. For someone, it might be sports. For someone, it might be arts. For someone, it might be even just expressing their feelings towards the people that they love. So it just depends on every person. Sports plays a huge part, obviously, because COVID. I used to train tennis before COVID, started professionally training tennis, and then COVID came and I had to stop training. So yeah, it plays a big part, but we keep going. It's not gonna stay for hard times. Don't stay forever.
For me, in my case, in the last couple 6-8 months, started gaining a lot of weight towards the end of the last year because I didn't have any motivation whatsoever to work out or do any sort of physical activity at all. Obviously, all three of us are physically active or have been in the past, so we know how it helps and affects us. But yeah, mental health was probably at an all-time low, I'd say last year December or even January. And I think some of my friends probably saw it because I used to be a lot more irritated and got a lot more defensive in some cases, and overall I wasn't a fun time. But now it's getting better. There has been a little more motivation, of course, to work out, which brings me to the next point. How has working out / sports helped you with mental health?
In my case, it's something like you want to just break out the rules. You want to get rid of all of the emotions. You want to forget about all the tasks you have. So you just go to the gym, go to the park, wherever you want to go, and just train and train and train. You keep getting better. You keep smiling because you look better. You start to see the differences. And then the whole motivation here is that you forget about the problems for 1 hour, 2 hours a day. So you can actually relate to your positive side of yours. For example, you see the progress. You see that your friend also saw the progress and he congratulated you. In my case, it was like many people told me that, wow, you look better. Then I keep grinding, and then this is what motivates me.
Dan, would you like to run us through how has sport helped you, if it has at all?
I'm not the one that trains a lot. I haven't done any professional sports since a long time at this point, ever since the second wave started, or third wave, or fourth. I don't know which wave we are in. At the start of the lockdown, when I suddenly decided to lose weight, it just came out of nowhere. I think Chirag plays a huge role. I just keep telling him that he put the seed in my head to lose weight. It just carried on from there. And I don't train, but I used to run quite a lot during the start, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers. And then whenever I come back home all sweaty and I see my body all being all sweaty, and it's just, I think at that point it's just about some biology, some hormones you change in your brain about what you think about yourself, what goes on in your brain with every single hormone. And then you finally decide, okay, this is a good feeling. It's like at that point, it's a good addiction, if you can call that. So it starts with you, and then it just keeps going. If you be consistent with it, it just becomes like a drug to you. At one point, when you train so much, and then the day you were supposed to train, you don't, it makes you feel worse. It makes you feel like one of my most important parts of the day is missing. So that's how it starts, and that's how it continues.
I completely agree with that. It is a healthy drug after a certain point. It's definitely helped me out because, as Filip said, it's like that hour or two that you spare in your time that just gives you time alone, away from everyone. It's just complete silence, and it's just you and your music. You're completely locked in, working out to improve your body, and then the next day or you see something change in your body, and you just feel amazing that I did that. I put in the work and I'm seeing the results. It's also like a result of your consistency and determination. I think it keeps growing, especially if you see others grow, and especially the people near you. Like your friends are working out. It motivates you to work out as well. Yeah, and I want to talk about how did all of us stay motivated in such times to work out. There was a period of time where Devin and I started working out. We started going to the gym when we had the opportunity. Filip, you also, I've seen your clips of working out a lot. You're really strong. How do you stay motivated? Because you're completely locked in the house. People just expect you to just stay on TikTok, Netflix, YouTube, whatever, but you still take that time, that 1 or 2 hours out of your day to go out, maybe not necessarily out of your comfort zone, and you still work out. How do you stay motivated?
In my case, it's my friends and my dad mainly, because my dad is a maniac when it comes to sports. As I talked like before, I had this hard time in December when I was like completely locked out of everything. I was like in bed, depressed, hurt and stuff. So like I was sitting there for 3 months. I gained some weight, and then I looked at myself. I'm like, I'm not the same guy here and today. I'm not supposed to be like on the bottom. I should get up. My biggest motivation was to see the results, to actually be happy, spend more time with my dad and my friends. So this is what kept me going up. And actually I resigned from playing water polo as a professional sport, and I started to train boxing and MMA. Maybe there might have been some motivation as well, because new sport, new ideas, new friends, new people, new coach. This is all what keeps me motivating. And when it comes, for example, to school, when you go to a new place, you have new teachers, you have new opportunities. It's something similar. So this is what acts on your mind.
Fair enough. Then what about you?
No, I just wanted to ask Filip, doesn't it just turn like a habit for you after training for so long? It's just like, if you don't train, it just pisses you off, and you're like, why did I stop, or why do I not keep going? And then it just becomes like a natural motivation to you. At one point, it's just like, at one point you don't even need anyone to say anything to you. You're just like, okay, it's a part of my life now. It's just like, for you, it might just be like you eating. You just go and do it, and it just becomes like that motivation for me. I had this conversation with Chirag last night. I don't know. It's just I can't pinpoint one thing ever changes that happen within me personally. There's no such events that I can pinpoint, but it's just a domino effect for everyone. At one point, it just becomes a domino effect. One thing triggers another triggers another. For example, something, I don't know, I still can't pinpoint it. Something triggered the weight loss, and then from that on, it just became a domino effect to train, to go to the gym, go do this, go to that, go to dieting. It's not even a question about motivation. It's just like a question about, can you be consistent enough? I think that's just what I go through.
I think motivation is a temporary thing, so we'll feel it for a week or two, but then slowly, if we're actually passionate about it, it changes into discipline. The reason why all of us continue to do so is the discipline and the consistency, and we feel, I think, better of ourselves. It gives us kind of an ego boost after we work out. Overall, I think people can be motivated. Like you'll see at the beginning of the year, everyone will start going to the gym for like 1 or 2 weeks. But the only people who stay working out until the end of the year or more are the ones who are disciplined and who really, really want it. If you really are not passionate about something, you're not going to pursue it overall, just like in any other case. It doesn't have to be related to working out.
We can talk about how to motivate yourself. So like a basic factors, because many people that will be watching this video are in the same situation as us. No one is in a different situation. and maybe we would help some people with this. When you want to start working out, for example, you've never been working out, just start slowly, approach slowly. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. Start with something.
People, what they tend to do is they go into the deep end of the pool because they want to see the results the quickest as possible. We want everything really quick, but you have to remember with working out and changing your body, you need patience and consistency. And I know this like phrase is said all the time, but you need to be patient to see the results, because you'll see results at the first like 3 months, but then you'll hit like a plateau, and then you'll be like, God damn it, should I even continue, or what am I doing wrong? People just go into the deep end, throw themselves in, start working out like insane volume and insane amount of times, which just isn't healthy for your body, first of all, because you've never worked out in your life. But yeah, continue.
You can relate to that, all of you, like even Dave and you, Chirag. I seen the progress that you did like throughout the last 2 years, because I've been working out for 7 years right now, 5 times a week, almost like 10 hours a week, and then weekends, like the championships and everything. So I saw the changes like from day to day in your body, in your even faces, like you change a lot. This is also a factor of motivation for others. Like if he could do it, why would I be able to do it as well?
I think it's good, and by making this video, our indirect message is for you to maybe get motivated and start being more disciplined about whether it is tracking your food you're eating, what you're putting in your body, how much you're working out, and etc. etc. Because people see working out as just improving your body. Well, it is a factor, but indirectly you're also improving your mental health. Like if you're in a bad position right now, I'd say just try going to the gym once. Just go once and see how you feel. I think it makes a huge impact, because people who look at people who go to the gym, they just see them as maniacs who just want to improve their body and they're egotistic and blah blah, but they don't realize that like indirect factor that goes in the back of their mind.
There are many stereotypes about people who work out, which is actually not good, because working out has been a part of our lives since centuries. When you ask yourself, how am I going to start? There are many dietitians online, many applications that can help you. Even myself, I wanted to lose 10 kilograms. I now lost 11 kilograms. I'm not just showing off. I'm just coming to it.
No, that's good. It's really hard to lose weight. It's amazing.
Especially when you're still growing up. As I'm 17, I'll probably just grow up for 3 next years. What I did, I installed an app which helped me control the amount of food I eat, and not only the amount, but the micronutrients. You have to establish like what's your goal, like what's your time frame, and you have to also keep the eye on the fact that what is on the paper or in the screen does not always relate to you. So you have to like find the perfect spot to keep to be motivated even when you're eating. Be happy with what you eat, and actually be happy with the results that the food brings to you.
There will be a picture on the screen. This is my usual way of training. I just go to the park, I take a training mat and a kettlebell, and I search for many like workout plans and exercises that I can do. Actually, now I just go to the park and I know what to do. So this is actually as well what keeps motivating me. You don't need much to start. You don't need much to feel better. You don't need much to better yourself. Just start somewhere, search for ideas, ask people about it, and then you just have an overview how the like easiest exercises look like.
Yeah, so I think overall what we can get from that is that you don't need a lot of equipment. You can just do body weight exercises. Really, you don't need like a gym to work out. A lot of people do it because a gym is a place where everyone has the same goal. Everyone wants to change their life, so it feels a little more familiar. But if you can't go to the gym, you can't access one, because of course we can't access one for now. You can work out by yourself with the limited conditions you have. There's no excuses at all. It's just your motivation, and how disciplined you are, of course.
Find as many substitutes as possible. For example, as you're the person who have been working out on the gym with a coach, ask him, or if you have never actually worked out, the equipment that you can buy is not expensive at all. All of it is like motivation, because you actually start doing something from nothing. This is where all it starts. And actually, as I like a concluding point, that your motivation comes from every part, every aspect of your exercise time.
So even for the exercise, if you're struggling to find whatever you want to do, there's a lot of free coaches and everything on YouTube and on the internet overall. Or you can contact some of your friends who have been working out, who have been experienced, so maybe you don't make the same mistakes as they did. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can get for free. You don't even have to pay for workouts these days, and it's pretty crazy. So overall, you should start and see the results.
With the connection to working out to mental health, it's been, as Filip said, working out's been here since centuries. But how late did we realize that it has a connection to mental health itself? I think it's just recently where mental health is given so much importance in our day-to-day life, especially when you see people just out of nowhere, they will, like, even if they're a little bit depressed, they will just say I'm depressed, because nowadays it just became a trend to be, be just supportive to mental health and be like, okay, sometimes it's a stunt for getting attention, but sometimes it's also like a serious problem nowadays, especially when people are realizing that it's an actual thing. It really happens. It's just not an illusion. The connection to working out to mental health is there, but there's so many other things that could affect your mental health. For example, literally what you do in your day-to-day life, what you obviously what you eat, what you like see or listen throughout the day, what you go through, what information passes through your nerves. It plays a huge role. And working out is just a way to stimulate your blood in your body, where you realize, okay, this part is important, okay, so, and then your whole aura or your whole energy just surrounds yourself and you, and then you suddenly start feeling so important, suddenly start feeling so confident. So that's how it relates to mental health. But if you obviously, working out is a big thing, but if you feel like if there's any other thing, go for it. It's just like a whole branch that goes to one target, which is just to make you feel better about yourself, better about your life, and that's how it connects to each other.
Okay, so in correlation to that, why do you think mental health has become like such a problem in today's society? Before we actually move on, this has been it for the first part. The second part is going to be up towards the end of this week, so don't worry. That has been it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys soon enough.